setting new standards in podcast excellence. You have joined the WBT, fully focused on business and taxes. Here is your host, Michael Lodge.
Well, good morning on this Sunday morning. It's raining here, the clouds are up, and the water is coming down. We've had probably the most rain that we've had in a long, long time here in South Carolina. But it's a beautiful morning, everything's nice and green. I love Sundays because this is the day that we come together, just you and I, and we talk about spiritual things instead about worldly things of business and taxes and politics and all that other stuff. Have you ever read the story of Job? Gosh, he had a very different life, didn't he? In Job 1:21-22, he says, I came naked from my mother's womb, and I shall have nothing when I die. The Lord gave me everything I had, and they were His to take away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In all of this, Job did not sin. It's an amazing life. He really was put through some trials. So today's topic is, don't give up, refuse to be bitter. I think that you and I know a lot of different people around us who are bitter. They're angry, they're hateful. Then that's all they talk about is hate. I tell you, you gotta block those people because that type of individual is toxic to your spiritual needs. Grief is a part of life, but you can't let a season of grief turn into a lifestyle of grief. At some point, you just have to let it go. Move forward, let it go. There's a difference between mourning and moaning. Let me say it again. There is a difference between mourning and moaning, between weeping and wallowing. A loss can deepen you and me, but that doesn't mean it can define us. A loss is a part of our maturity, but not my identity. God gives you grace to get through what you're going through. Other people may not have that same measure of grace, so they might give you some really bad advice. Job's wife did that. Job's wife said to him, are you still trying to maintain your integrity? Curse God and die. But Job replied, you talk like a godless woman. Should we accept only good things from the hand of God and never anything bad? So in all this, Job said nothing wrong. You can read that in Job 2:9-10. So Job refused to become bitter and resentful. Bitterness prolongs pain. It doesn't relieve it. It only reinforces it. Watch out that no bitterness takes root among you. It causes deep trouble, hurting many in their spiritual lives. Hebrews 12:15. So Job gives us 3 steps in refocusing. 1, put your heart right. That means you forgive. But I can't forgive, you say. That's why you need Christ in your life. He'll give you the power to forgive. And every single day we're going to be thinking about these problems in our lives or these issues in our lives or this hate in our lives. And once again, we have to pray to God. God, help me to help me to forgive one more time. We're humans, and we keep thinking about these things, but we have to put it in God's hand and say, Lord, help me forgive one more time. Number 2, reach out to God. Ask Him to come into your heart and heal those wounds and help you and give you the strength and power for tomorrow, next week, next month. Number 3, face the world again, firm and courageous. Many people, when they're hurt, withdraw into a shell. They say, I'll never let anybody hurt me again. They retire from life. Job says to do the exact opposite. Resume your life. Don't retire from it. Get back out there in the world. There's a really happy ending to Job's life. He says, the Lord blessed the last part of Job's life even more than he had blessed the first part of his life. Job 42:12. Job went through all this hurt that he had brought upon him. But in spite of that, God blessed the last part of Job's life even more than the first part of his life. I think we should ask ourselves, wouldn't I or wouldn't you like the same in your life? Say, God, I don't care whether I have 5 years or 50 years left. Would you bless the last part of my life more than the first part? The lesson of Job's life is this. It doesn't matter who's hurt you, or how long you've been hurt, or how deeply you've been hurt. God can make the rest of your life the best of your life if you're willing to forgive and let go of resentment and release the offender. Ask these 3 questions, or talk it over with your friends. Ask this. Talk it over. In grief, why is it easier to draw into ourselves rather than be with people who will help us move forward? How have you experienced and observed the debilitating efforts of bitterness? What do you want God to help you accomplish in the rest of your life? What you do is important. What do you need to let go of so that He can work fully in and through you? Bitterness is so evil. We see it in the politics that are being played out day after day on television show after television show, newspaper, internet, everything. It's out there. There's bitterness, there's hate. And we've got to stop that. You've got to put it into God's hands and say, help me. I need your help. Get rid of this bitterness. Life will be much better as long as you can forgive and get rid of the bitterness and move forward. So the message today, don't give up. Refuse to be bitter. This is Mike Lodge. I'll talk with you soon.
Quando vejo a beleza da tua criação, reação me dá quase vontade de chorar. Por que fazemos tão pouco para te agradecer? Jesus, não quero nunca te esquecer. Quero lembrar do teu amor, daquele sacrifício, morrendo numa cruz pra me salvar. Meu ser é todo teu, ao que queres fazer. Jesus, não quero nunca te esquecer. Since your grace, my heart is overwhelmed by who you are. So I will give you the honor you alone are worthy of. Forever I will thank you for your love. I want to thank you for your love, for the sacrifice you offer. You died upon the cross to save my soul. My life is yours alone, all to you I owe. Forever I will thank you, teu precioso amor. Forever I will thank you, por teu precioso amor. For your love, teu amor. For your love, teu amor.
Thank you for listening to the WBT with Michael Lodge. Join us again tomorrow as we explore more about business and taxes. Follow us on iHeartRadio and go to our podcast website at www.wbtpod.com and listen to all of our podcasts and read our blogs.